The reason I like Militaria is simple psychology. Although my parents, Molly and Joe, were communists dedicated to the violent overthrow of the ruling class, they also subscribed to a theory prevalent in liberal circles that giving children warlike toys, such as model soldiers or cap guns, could awaken in them aggressive, antisocial and overtly male tendencies, which were unsuited to the modern world. So my parents refused to purchase for me any kind of toy gun. At first, this wasn't too much of a problem. All the boys in the street just ran around pointing their fingers at each other going, ack, 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 or kaplow. But soon their parents began buying them plastic or metal toy guns, which usually fired a paper roll of percussion caps. And this left me pretty badly outgunned with just my fingers. Yet no matter how much I pleaded with her, Molly refused to buy me a toy gun. In the end, out of desperation, tired of spending every evening lying dead on the pavement, I started making my own imitation weapons out of bread. What I would do was I would chew an L shape into a slice of Hovis, then smuggle it out of the house so I could run around the streets shooting other kids with my home meal pistol. I brought such conviction to my play acting that the other kids accepted the fact that my bread gun possessed a degree of firepower, and as long as it didn't rain, I was fine. Maybe in the end it's better that I didn't become defence minister, because my core audience is left-wing, and they're a pack of judgmental bastards. Always looking to say, oh, I always knew he was a sellout. I saw him one day and he had a hat on, and then I saw him on another day and he had a different hat on. And having two hats, well, that's just as bad as supporting the 1915 Turkish genocide of the Armenians. So I have always been terrified of somehow accidentally getting an MBE or a knighthood, which would be a sign that I was sucking up to the establishment. Now, it's well known that you are never asked outright if you'd accept a royal honour, an MBE or a CBE, since nobody can ever be known to turn down the monarch. Rather, there are hints and subtle inquiries. So when the man in the bagel bar asks me, do you want mustard and a pickle on that? I know what he's really saying is, would you be up for betraying your principles and accepting an honour? So I shout, no, I don't want no gong. Then I run out of the shop. The pro-war voices seem to be very strong in our society right now, epitomised by belligerent fanatics such as Tobias Ellwood. But where does the public's apparent appetite for violent conflict come from? In a recent documentary, Theatres of War, investigative journalist Tom Secker and academic Matthew Alford reveal the astonishing fact that the Pentagon has interfered behind the scenes in thousands and thousands of films and TV shows over recent decades. For example, the makers of the summer hit Top Gun: Maverick allowed the US Defense Department to oversee the script, weave in key talking points, and censor scenes they didn't like. The US military also demanded and got a veto over actors appearing in the film and an official screening before Maverick could be approved for release. The reach of the US military goes much further, though. In a recent scene in ITV1's Emmerdale, the character of Mandy Dingle, played by Lisa Riley, while having a quiet drink in the Woolpack, suddenly launched into a diatribe about how the left-wing Venezuelan government of Nicolas Maduro needed overthrowing with a violent coup. But who benefits from all this conflict? Well, the Zen master said, if you put 100 fire ants and 100 black ants in a jar, they will peacefully live side by side. But if the jar is shaken, then they will attack each other, blaming the other for the disturbance. But the real criminal is the one who shook the jar. So who's shaking our jar? I believe it is the giant corporations, the meta platforms, the BAE systems, the Chase Manhattan banks, and the politicians they've bought and paid for who are doing it. It is not the human race who are destroying the planet, but the multinationals who wish to place us at each other's throats for their own profit. The Zen master also said, if you're taking part in an Ironman triathlon and your opponent is a shark, then the shark is going to do better in the swimming. And you're going to do better in the running. So then it's all down to the bike.